bullets went everywhere.
Welcome to the Guys You Guys. God damn it! Welcome to the Guys You Guys podcast, where we talk about Japanese music and other music-related things, and apparently goose vaginas.
Oh, good lord!
That's music related.
That was live.
Do we add that to the description? Do we? Oh man, how you guys doing?
Very educational intro we got here.
People seem confused by our chat.
Yeah, I don't know why they would be confused.
I don't know what's confusing, guys. We're explaining the biology of geese. So we'll just accept it. Move on, and don't try to fuck a goose because it won't work out.
Oh, there goes our monetization. Thanks.
Yeah.
But true.
Okay.
We're gonna heed any words we say. The last comment by Champ is pretty good.
I think we made it 5 minutes. Do we make it 5 minutes?
To be fair, I said not to do it. I said
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's good advice. I mean, honestly, if you approach a goose, they're gonna attack you anyway. So you should probably just don't.
This is a proven fact. I have
We have
film
video
footage.
getting chased around by geese. So you try to navigate their
tunnel system.
How's everyone doing today? How are y'all doing?
a little better now.
Better now?
Terrible.
Terrible. Yeah?
Terrible. Can you tell?
Champ's vibing.
It's
You're vibing, man.
Awful.
Yeah,
It's just awful over here, man.
I like your Zoom background today, Champ.
Nice
I know,
haircut.
right?
Nice
Classic,
haircut
right?
too, Champ. Did you get the haircut before you went down there, or?
Oh, you like this haircut? You
Yeah.
know what this haircut is? This is me not getting a haircut for 6 months and then me just shaving the side by my ear.
Yeah, it's very
Nice.
different.
You-
What's the purpose of
It's
that?
gonna be.
Does it
it's
get
gonna
hot
be
behind
a
your
mullet
ears?
at some point? Just give it a chance.
Does it get hot behind the ears? Is that what happened?
Do you want to know the truth? You want to know
Yes,
the
I wanna know
behind
the
the
truth.
scenes of this?
Did they fuck it up?
I'm just way too lazy and poor to go get a haircut. So I wear a hat every day. This covers up the amount that the hat needs to cover up. You can't see the
You
rat.
put your hat on and then you trimmed around.
If I put a hat on right now, you'd have no idea that I actually got
Utterly
anything going on.
ridiculous. You lazy bastard.
Yeah, this is my first time learning
Jesus
that you have
Christ.
hair, Champ.
Yeah, I try to hide it, man. I try to pretend that I don't.
Well, you do realize you're on video with a bunch of
You see
people
this?
can see you, so it's no secret.
I know. Well, at some point I had to reveal that my hair starts halfway back my head. You see this, right? Like I can't hide this, bro.
Dude, it's sexy with those
Oh,
baby
man.
wings.
Thanks,
Oh, how about you, Ryan? How's your week?
Pretty good, man. It's pretty good. Got put in some work this week on stuff that, well, Wave's been done with for like 6 months. I finally did my part in it.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
A little video for a
Secret.
thing we're doing on the BMCD BAND-MAID community Discord. I'm not saying what it is, but it'll be out,
Nice.
and it's an amazing project, and I was honored to work with everybody on it.
Sweet.
Really wish I could have remembered what was played and when, but cutting scenes will help me look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What about you, Wave?
Yeah. Well, we had a big snowstorm here in the middle of the week, so I spent most of my week plowing the driveway.
Ugh.
Other than that, dang, the
Uh-oh.
stuff's happening out there, and I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of banging.
And promote the squirrel shirt.
Yes. Squirrel. We are sponsored by Guys and Guys merch store,
We're sponsored by the guys.
where you can get squirrel shirts with Wave's face on it.
It's a
Character
Wave.
form. Thank you, Wave, for that. We need to promote that shirt.
And that's why the shirt's there, if you're wondering.
Yeah. That was one of the squirrel moments.
That pretty much my week. Besides falling in love with Love Bites this week, like more than I ever
yeah.
have before.
Hell yeah. Samesies.
Man, we're about to jump into that.
Oh, I regret saying that. Can we cut that, please? I didn't.
Same season.
That's your shirt, champ.
You guys
Picture
got
you
and
with this haircut saying
colada right
"Samesies"
now.
underneath.
Ryan, let's do it. Let's make this happen.
That pina colada is
Asking-
extra spicy.
You're asking for a caricature.
You just asked for it. There, we got one. We're gonna have one.
I can draw that shit right now.
It looks like a critical drinker now.
Man, I'm really exposing myself to that.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go again.
Keep drinking, champ. I want to see where this turns up.
Wow.
If you were wondering about the Wave Potter squirrel shirts, they're right here.
Man, how'd you make me look so good?
Yeah. This is a really good shirt.
Artistic license.
You're
a really good one.
Wave. Come on.
Lots of liberties taken.
Thank you, Kibbs. Kibbs donated $20 for Champ's haircut.
We have to give that directly to Champs. Who gave it a haircut.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I'm gonna have to share that with all four of us, though. So
What is
three
what
more
is
of you guys do that?
Oh, thank you.
If each of you could just give us $1.
Thanks,
man.
though, buddy. Appreciate
it.
After
All right.
YouTube takes 30%.
It's okay. What is it called?
Bro.
Supercuts? We can take them to Supercuts. We got them.
I can cut your hair.
There you go. You should let Wave
I've
cut
been
your
cutting
hair.
my own hair since I was like 17.
Let's film Wave cut
Really?
your hair.
You're like, absolutely not.
Oh, how do you do? Okay. How do you do the fucking
How
math?
do you cut your own hair, Wave? How do you?
He never shows the back of his head. He's like you. Just stops here.
Rosie trims the back of my neck, but otherwise I just do clippers.
There you go.
Then I like comb out the hair to all different sides and like make it all even.
You don't use a suck cut.
Is that a haircut technically?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
if
the
you're just
vacuum
buzzing
for your head.
It certainly does suck. Sorry.
Is that David Wallace's invention?
I knew about it from Wayne's World. I don't know where it actually came from.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
okay.
All right, let's
As
get
you
into
can
this.
see, it sucks as it cuts. All right,
Let's get into this, guys. Let's talk about some Love Bites. All right. First of all, their album was on the top 10 chart for iTunes, which was really cool for worldwide, coming in at number 4, which is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. So we're gonna talk about that new song today. Man, so you guys were saying some positive things as we were starting. I did not like the new song, new Love Bites song at all. The music video, I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was very Love Bites. But the second song that they had released, you know how they released 2, I loved a lot. I liked the second one. But I didn't like the one that they did in Stand and Deliver. Not a fan.
There was another one?
Well, they released 2. So there was Stand and Deliver, which was a music video, and then there was the other song, which yes, we got.
I only heard Stand and Deliver also.
Look at this.
Hey, I
Nice.
appreciate the 5, 6, 8 head, 9 head maybe that you gave me.
So
9 head.
yeah, I just
You
wasn't.
did not like. I'm surprised at that.
I wasn't
Why
feeling
not?
it. It was really. I thought it was I think it's cool how they're doing the whole rough mix approach. I just wasn't feeling it. It just sounded weird to me. I just wasn't digging it. I wasn't digging the lyrics. I loved Asami's vocals, of course, but I don't know, I didn't really like the music behind it. The solo was cool. I liked the solo, but other than that, I was just like, this is just bringing back Iron Maiden style kind of power metal. I'm just like, But the next song we listened to, Eric and I, we listened to the next one and we were blown away. That was freaking phenomenal. Loved it a
It
lot.
was very not Iron Maiden. Are you sure we're talking about the same song?
I thought it
Stand and
was.
Deliver?
Yeah, it was really okay.
I mean, parts of it, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I didn't notice another music video.
I didn't say there was a music
wasn't
video. They
another
released
music
2
video.
songs at the same time.
Oh, well, their whole album's out.
Soldier Stands in Solitary. Yeah, but it came out the next day. We reacted to those 2 songs that came out.
Oh,
remember?
gotcha. Okay.
So we did both of them. The Soldier Stands in Solitarily. I loved that song. That was the one. Thanks, Tatasio, for bringing that up. I didn't like Stand and Deliver. It was my favorite out of the 3 tracks that came out for Memorable and Love Bites and BABYMETAL. Actually, Memorable was probably my favorite out of the 3 that were released this past
BAND-MAID
week. The BAND-MAID one.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But anyway, let's keep on Love Bites. But you guys go ahead and talk about it. I know you guys loved it, so love to hear your guys' thoughts.
Who wants to go
Why don't
first?
you go, Ryan?
Yeah.
I just checked it out before about a half hour or so before we went live, and because I wanted to see it before we talked about it today, because I knew we would be, and I was pleasantly surprised, man. I loved it. Just the whole different approach to the intro. Asami's vocals are a little different, a little grit in there. It was cool seeing them just kind of have fun and kind of cut loose, which I'm not like a deep diver on their music, So what I've seen is, I wouldn't say too late. I've listened to a lot, but I haven't like cataloged a lot in my brain what they've done. So to me, it sounded different, and it was cool seeing them in a studio setting and just having them kind of goofing around, switching instruments and stuff, having fun,
Yeah, I agree.
being a little more animated. I really liked it.
Yeah, you're right. The
Music-
opening bass line was good. That's why I was expecting something else, I think, when that was driving in. By the way, Ellen Talks BS, they put all 10 songs. If you didn't hear me when I said they released 2 songs before they put out the full album. That was after the fact. There was only 3 songs on the playlist. It was like a Wednesday, I believe. I can't remember when.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
did the YouTube stuff after, because as soon as they dropped Stand and Deliver, I saw the whole album on Spotify already.
Oh, on Spotify?
So I think they might have released them.
Whatever,
separately
dude. He's
on
not
different
trying to
platforms.
mislead anybody.
Yeah. I was like,
No.
I mean-
I'm just trying to clarify. I think they probably released them at different times on different platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Wave?
Well, I actually really liked the sound and the music video for. Sorry,
great.
I just drank coffee. Because it was different than anything I've seen from Love Bites before, and I wonder. I understand what Alan's saying. If he's expecting like more like the classic Love Bite sound, and he's more familiar with their older stuff, how maybe this would be just a really jarring change of pace. Sorry about that. Okay, I think we're good now. But I really liked it because what Ryan was saying, in the video, you saw them goofing off. You saw a lot of their personality. You saw this new, more laid back than I've ever seen from Love Bites before. Usually I'd think of Love Bites as like really serious and regal
True.
and just focused doing their stuff. But like, I feel like adding Fami into the mix has given them this new, more casual energy that I haven't seen from Love Bites before. Like they were goofing around in their music videos, switching around instruments and stuff, and you could tell they were having a blast. And
Yeah, man.
I don't know, that just really stood out to me more than anything I've ever heard from Love Bites before. So I was totally like, I went to the next level with Love Bites in my appreciation and excitement to hear more of what they do.
Yeah. This is one of the instances where seeing the video may help, the way you see some of the music. It's been that way for me sometimes when when you hear a song and you relate to the video. A lot of us do that with live music by bands we love. You see the live thing, it's like, oh, I like the live version. So when you hear it, you think of that live version. And this the song itself, I don't know if it would have been any different if I heard it without the video, but the video definitely colored my overall opinion of it.
I was just
But
about to say, them having fun was one of the comments I made at the end of the reaction. I was like, the cool thing was to see them having fun, for sure. Because you're right, you don't see that. The other ones are very serious starting off. It's interesting that, too, these past 2 music videos, they both start with bass leading it off, which is really cool that they're choosing songs to like highlight Fami right away, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome thing to do.
Maybe she took over and she's making them. No, I will lead every song.
Yeah.
She just took over the band and she's in charge now.
Did you guys think, like, when I heard Fami playing bass, it felt like in the style of Miho to me? It didn't. I didn't hear much of her style resonate through, but maybe I need to hear it again. Sorry, I just saw something fly.
I think
Yeah.
you need to hear it again anyway.
Yeah.
You're grumpy. You didn't hear the song as good as it could have been. You need to give another listen when you're in a better
You need to
mood.
go to Florida and listen to it.
Yeah.
Though, like even the beginning part with the bass intro, like I don't really recall Love Bites their bass being that distorted
Dirty.
ever. Like I can't really think of a song where it start off like it sounded like an electric guitar, man. Like it was as distorted as a bass gets. And I kind of love that. That gave me like a different vibe right off the bat with Love Bites, you know?
Yeah.
But also like they went into this sort of like chant vocals during the verse, which then went from the chant vocals into her like more raspy tone that Ryan was bringing up before. And I kind of just loved that alone too, because that was thrash, bro. That was like, to me, this song, like I heard like elements of Judas Priest or like Iron Maiden, like Alan was mentioning earlier, but like
Fucking
for the
Motorhead.
most part,
Old
people were saying
Metallica.
Motorhead. I wish I brought that up, but I was just thinking thrash in general. Like I said, Testament in my reaction, you know, like Whiplash, you know, like I just like the riff that they were playing, you know, just during the verse was such like a speed metal, thrash metal type of riff that I was just like, I was so into it just from that alone.
It reminds me of one of the Metallica Garage Days songs. It
does.
What, can't remember which song that is, but
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude, that song was great, man. I dug it.
and I
And
also
think
felt
about-
like sorry, I just the power metal stuff, like I like them better when they're doing a little less of it, and I felt like this was, you know, more geared towards just like metal as a whole, less power metal.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know, it had like a classic rock element to it too. Like some of the leads Miyako was doing in the beginning had like those bluesy dyad bends.
Yeah, dude, the
The
lead
Right
main riff of the
after-
song.
Yeah, right after Midori's doing these like huge dive bomb squeals.
that was like a whole solo of that. It was great.
Yeah.
What a freaking cool song. Shut up, Alan.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too.
I don't think so.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm like, I guess. I don't know. It was like really, it was weird to me. Like the quality of the recording
That's okay.
too. Like I was like, this is the different. Like, but honestly, I think it's on purpose because most of the songs are sounding really raw, and that's really cool that they're doing that. Not a lot of bands can get away with, like, you know, having a lot less of effects on their instruments and stuff. It's just not my thing. I don't know. I've never been a huge Love Bites fan either. I'm always hit and miss with them. Like their first song that they released, I love it. I love Dissonance. And the other one that somebody just mentioned, I can't remember. So there's songs I like. This one just wasn't for me.
Cool.
I will say structurally, I thought it was on the more simple side of what some of their other songs do. Like it was pretty much like, you know, here's intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then repeat, solo, and then repeat again, right? So structurally, if you're looking for something like out of the norm or breaking the mold, you're not going to find it in that song. I just like the vibe of it. Again, like we were talking about this Patreon, I just like the vibe of this song. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like the stuff that I used to listen to when I was in high school, checking out, you know, for the first time, checking out that 80s kind of metal stuff that I had never heard before because I was born in 1985 and I was only 0 years old when some of that stuff was released. And this kind of brought me back to those high school days when I was finally like really exploring and finding those older bands. And I really thought, like, especially as soon as the gang vocals came up right in the beginning and all 4 of them or all 5 of them were doing it, I was just like, damn, dude, this has got 80s thrash written all over.
Yeah, that was fun. I just want to say, like, don't get upset with Alan either if you really disagree with him, because, you know, he's a guy that he's honest about his opinion. He says what he feels at the time. And a lot of times we've seen him change his mind on music, you know, like
I've done
just
it.
revisiting it.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah,
Very
we've
true.
all done that. Sometimes
make
just
excuses
like
for
our
it.
listening conditions and just the first impressions affect it, but
Yeah.
don't give up. Not as tough as Champ with the
Don't make excuses.
chemical
for it.
reaction.
Thanks, Wade. It's okay. Some people are just gonna like whatever they put out, and that's cool. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I can't just.
I'm
be
definitely like that with some bands now, you know,
Yeah.
just because I love them as people. But
Some bands, quote unquote, he says.
some band.
We all know who you're talking about, dude. You don't have to hide it.
Baby Metal. Let's talk about the new Baby Metal one. I was shocked. There was this one I did go back and listen to. I broke it down track by track. There's another one I was not a fan of either. It was just really weird. But the chorus was good because I remember the chorus from the clips that we all did and everything. I love the chorus to it. Definitely when I went back and listened to it, there's a lot of cool things underneath in the music. I'm so happy I did separate the tracks and stuff and listen to it. I'm like, holy shit, there's a lot of awesome production. I think they just failed at the mixing level of it. even though it is a good mix, but what they focused on, I guess in my head, I didn't really like what they focused on. But they really like focus on that like dance beat, like that boots and cats and boots and cats beat. I'm like, why is this in here? Like they couldn't complicate that up a little bit. I don't know, or like make it different. But
I haven't listened.
Sue
I haven't
saves
listened
the
to the whole
song.
thing yet.
Yeah, Sue saves the song for sure. Sue makes that song 100%. I love the vocals, love her singing in it. Though I will say that her vocals, and there's some parts in the middle of the song that are really, really cool, and I can't wait to release that video because there's some really awesome nuances in there. Just the opening of the song was just weird to me, but it's good. It's a good song. It's a good song. It's definitely my least favorite.
How many are left on this album that need to be released?
I don't know.
Because I don't know,
heard
man.
4.
The overall vibe of everything released is like, yeah, like everybody's still waiting for what they want to hear.
Right.
There's great songs, don't get me wrong, but I'm looking for like, I want some heavier shit, give me that. It's like a lot of people are still waiting, like, okay, let's hear what the next one is. Okay, let's hear what the next one is. And it's still like not happening.
Yeah.
For me,
I'm curious to see if like it's packed with a bunch of shit people want to hear later, or if it's all going to be like this. And
I think it's going to all be like this. Ryan, I really do. I think it's all going to be like this. It's going to be in the vein of Divine Attack, Monochrome. All these songs we've heard, I think it's going to be very similar to these 4 that we've already heard.
Oh, Metal King's the best song they ever wrote. So yeah.
This was interesting because when we did those teasers last year, the chorus of this, what was it called again? The Baby Metal song. Anyway,
Light in the Darkness, I think.
Yeah, thank you. Like the chorus with the drums have a really interesting pattern. And that was the teaser that stood out to me the most last summer when we were listening to them. Like it actually got stuck in my head after like, the 10 seconds or whatever it was. So I was really excited for this one. And maybe I was partial to it for that reason. But I actually really enjoyed listening to it the first time. But then I never listened to it again. So that almost tells me like, did I love it or did I just enjoy it because I already loved the chorus the first time I heard it? I don't know.
Wave, the chorus is really good. You're absolutely right. I agree with you. That drum pattern is amazing underneath it. The way that it like combines together, and then when you hear it in layers, dude, you're absolutely right. I love it.
Layers.
There's another thing too is that I'm still such a baby metal noob. Like I've heard a lot of their music, but it was all like watching live versions with you, and like when I take all of that in at once, I can't retain it. So like, I know like if you're comparing it to their older stuff where it's just like mind-blowingly ambitious and crazy, like I can definitely understand why this stuff would be more disappointing because it is like they have the elements there, but they're a lot shorter. They're a lot more predictable,
Well, let's talk about it like this. So you have the chorus, right? And I think that's simple, but interesting enough, right? I just wish the other parts of the music were like how the chorus was. That's my thing. I would have been on it, because Metal Kingdom is awesome, right? At first I was like weird, but I'm like, no, this is badass. Monochrome's really good. Even Divine Attack is really cool. Like we raise those guitars up, you have some interesting elements, and I'm behind it. But this song, I was like, I don't know, this one's going to be a little bit difficult, And it was interesting because I took the guitars that were on the track and raised them up, and it sounded so much better. Like, because there's a better mesh. Because when you listen to it, I feel like there's an annoying like because the guitar's so low. It's so low, so it's like sounds like, well, what was the point of putting the guitar in there? You might as well just like put in some
like
synths.
listening to a Gaki band.
Yeah, you might as well put in a synth or something, like a heavy distorted synth, and put that in there because it's fairly simple. It's just if I remember correctly, it's G, and then it's just like G flat, and it just goes down the line of the scale, and that's all it is. And I'm like, that's really oddly simple for a baby metal song.
There were some cool like unison riffs though with the drums like leading into the chorus, if I remember right.
Yeah, but like the progression of it was like it was just in a line. It was like the entire of most of the song, except for those changes that you're talking about. And there's this one part in the middle that's really cool. I do like I said, the chorus was great. It was just the verses. I was like, I don't know, but you can get away with that, like if you make it interesting. But that's just me. like I said, I could have been in a really bad mood this week. It might be affecting a lot of this. So I'm definitely going to listen to it
Did you
again.
listen to it?
I did. I just listened to it before we started recording. Actually,
What did you
it
think?
was my favorite of the four. It was. I'm actually a little bit surprised to hear you guys say this because I'm generally the one that's like, I don't, you know, it's a little plain for me type of thing. And I did feel like this one it had that the same sort of like it's got the aura that the other three had, but and I was really iffy about it until after the first chorus. So like the first chorus came up, and I was like, okay, here's that chorus. Like, oh, I remember this from when we were listening to it again. Like, just like you guys, it's an earworm instant, right? So I was like, oh, this is that song. Cool, this sounds good. But I was a little concerned for the first until we got up to that point. After we got out of that chorus, though, there was like this little kind of like breakdown part, and this lead guitar riff came in. It was doing like a type of thing, and I loved how it came in there because to me, I don't know, maybe it was just what I was listening to, but like the way that I was listening to it, but it sounded pretty loud to me, so I wasn't really having any issues hearing it, like thinking it was too low in the mix or anything like that. But I loved that riff, and it kind of got me into the song. So I was like, so after like a rocky start, I was like, okay, now we got this great chorus, we got this really cool like metal riff coming in underneath. Then they took it down again to build back up to that second chorus, which I'm okay with. But then at the end, like the second half of the song, they had like this riffing going on, sort of like throughout the entirety of like Act 3 of the song, I would say, like after chorus 2 hit. And I loved that stuff. I thought that was the coolest. And if we're talking about the way that the song is like constructed and stuff like that, it wasn't like it built and built and built. I loved how it kind of like built up to the chorus and then went hard and then went back down and then built back up and went harder and then went down and then built back up and went hardest. So like I actually really liked the trajectory of the song. By the end of the song, I was on the whole opposite page of where I was at the end of the first verse.
See,
And I was
well,
like, damn, I really
valleys.
liked that.
See, this is where like Wave was talking about. When I was listening to the song, all I could imagine was Mikio doing these awesome slidey riffs throughout the entire verses that would have added to it. And that's why I did this. I did a short where I did some sliding riffs. I wrote a lot of riffs for the song because I just wanted to mess with it, figure out the key and stuff. Which is in B flat minor, which is interesting key for BABYMETAL to be in. And when I was doing the slidey riffs, I'm like, oh man, if this was in there, I would freaking love this. You know, like I just like I don't know. It's just like my friend Joey said it the best. I was like, did they fire the guitarist? Because like it's like what happened? You know, what happened to like the guitars? I think that's.
Were they not aware that people really liked the guitar work from before?
I don't know. Like
it's weird because
I mean,
that seemed to be like
gone.
a really popular part of the band.
Listen,
But
I
he's
like
gone.
songs. I like songs like Dada Dance and Shanti Shanti, which are a little less guitar, and I love but those are really well crafted songs, and there's still some guitar work in this. This one just feels like they're just throwing this mediocre like guitar underneath, and it's just like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so I actually disagree. I don't think the guitar was mediocre on that one. It was, like I said, it was my favorite guitar work of the four songs that we've heard so far.
That's shocking.
Like I said, I liked it the most out of the four, but I'm going to also, you know, okay, it's still not weird, you know what I mean? And I think that the most appealing part of BABYMETAL was the weirdness combined with the talent for me personally. This is personal preference. I liked when they got weird, and these four songs are like, none of them are weird to me. Like they're all very like, you know, kind of like you can more mainstream. It's going more towards the mainstream sound that they normally have. So I liked it the most out of the four, but it's still not, the album itself isn't giving me my favorite BABYMETAL sound.
Interesting.
No, I think if those guitar riffs that I was talking about, I would have loved this song so much more. I really do. In my opinion, I really liked it because the chorus is so good in it. But But yeah,
That would.
Well, that's the other thing though. When a chorus is really great, like a lot of the times, the first time that you listen to a song, or at least for me, the first time that I listen to a song, I'm being analytical, and it's all about the breakdown of the song, right?
Mhm.
But what I end up listening to the most later on is the one that has like that really catchy earworm hook, and I can just like have it on more often, you know, because I'm not actually sitting there breaking down when I'm just listening by myself in my room or
Yes.
whatever.
yeah.
Exactly.
So I could totally see, just because of the chorus alone, this ending up being my favorite song. Just go back and listen to it. And like I said, I love when those guitar riffs come up. I'm actually surprised that you didn't. They felt kind of like randomly placed, and I appreciated that.
I really want to listen to it again now after hearing you talk about that, because I don't think I really noticed it that much. 'Cause I've only heard it
I mean,
once.
especially right after the first chorus. Like after the first chorus, this riff comes in that they don't do again for the rest of the song, but it's done
Yes.
under the verse.
I know what
And
you're
I really
talking
like
about. That's where that interesting beat comes in, that I really like. There's like some electronic stuff that they do in there. I thought was like
Second
really,
verse?
yeah, badass. Is it in the second verse? And then Moa has a more prominent role for a moment, but in a severely
Oh yeah,
auto-tuned
she
vocoder.
sings for a second by
Yeah,
herself.
yeah. So that was cool to see her by herself. So, just real quick, guys, I just want to say this real quick. You guys should be able to hear the audio. We will put up the good, nice quality podcast after the fact. This is going to be immediately unlisted when we're done. It is super windy in El Paso, and there's nothing I can do about it. I am looking at moving, so we don't have this issue. I'm going to move back into the area where I know the infrastructure is, good. So I do apologize, guys, if it's cutting in and out. I will post this immediately after the podcast, and it'll be up. So just be patient. If it's cutting in and out, we just figured to go live anyways, so you can hopefully try to talk with us during it. And like I said, if it's just cutting it out or it's really annoying, don't worry. Come back later. We'll have the nice quality recorded version up for y'all. So,
Well, thanks, Alan.
Word.
Yeah.
so I do apologize. Patience with us, guys. I am trying to move as quickly as possible. So
We are
get
aware
it.
of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And next week I think we're gonna try something else, but let me host it over when I get back to Jersey.
All right.
See if that's any better.
Memorable. Ryan, start us off. I heard you didn't like the song.
Memorable. It was a pretty amazing love letter to the fans and to what the continued support and love that the band receives. Just a confirmation of that. Like as fans of BAND-MAID, I think one of the unique things about this band is how much they willingly show how much they actually appreciate the fans, and they've done it now with 3 pretty amazing songs directed at us, and thanking us for their support and keeping them going. And they're much like us, they're continually surprised with what the support we give them, and we think they should just expect it because of course we're going to do it, but we're continually surprised with the quality of music they keep putting out. So it's kind of it's a cyclical thing, man. They keep giving us what we need and want, and we give them the same thing back, and just one kind of feeds the other. So I got a little emotional while watching the video, and from comments, a lot of people did, and I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I cry every day, bro.
Oh yeah, man. But I mean, for me, if I'm in my video, I mentioned how, I've talked about how they have been an impact on my life in a way that, more than just good music. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't really for them. Initially there was, Nightwish was a big part of that too, but BAND-MAID gave me a reason to travel across the country and meet lots of people. And these are things that I wouldn't have really thought about doing, a year and a half ago. And it's just kind of a crazy thing to think that that kind of thing can happen, and you can bring people together just by being an honest musician. And just being, it's like the example they said is an example that many should follow, I think.
Yeah.
It is just really cool that they did another fan song. I will say, like, About Us, I definitely like way more. I definitely like this song for more reasons than the song itself, if that makes sense. Like, it's a good song. I probably, if I wasn't a fan of the band, I wouldn't like it. But since I'm such a huge fan of the band now and been to those concerts like you were talking about, Ryan, and seeing the love and support, there's like an added weight to it. There's like definitely a lot more behind it in a sentimental kind of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's really like the fact that they would write a song that they know really isn't going to appeal to a wide audience. It's not going to attract new fans,
Exactly what I was going to
but
point out. Yeah.
but they give it to the existing fans because they appreciate them so much, even though it's really not going to do much for them, but it does make the relationships with their existing fans stronger and makes us appreciate how much they appreciate us. Like basically Psyche talking about how she loves, she dreams about looking out in the audience and seeing people smile when they're playing music. At least that's what I got from it. And it's like, what other band has written so many like multiple songs like this that again aren't gonna, because most bands will be thinking about what can I do to get more people's attention and get bigger, but they're thinking like, what can I do to have a closer relationship with the fans we already have, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure they're thinking that too, but they're taking a break to do that. They're still taking the time to establish and reinforce the fan base, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's a great point, man. As I was going to say, it's not they didn't. I don't think they. Well, I don't know. They the way Konami writes, I think she just the way she writes, I think appeals to a lot of people, and she doesn't intend. Careful what I'm saying here. I know she writes with intent of making a good, just an obligatory good song. Not necessarily, I want this to be on the radio, but just a good song overall. And then this is something that I don't think was written with that intent so much as what Wave is alluding to is just regardless of how it plays on Spotify or whatever, it's going to be a song for the fans. And that was the concern, which is what makes it so special.
Yeah.
This was the first BAND-MAID song that I listened to for the first time that I really didn't pay attention to the music in the background that much, where I was like solely focused on the lyrics, which just never, if you know me, that never happens. I never really pay attention to the lyrics over the music. Sometimes I'll listen to a song 100 times and have no idea what it's about. I'm all about the music, but this one, I couldn't even tell you what's going on musically because every time that I've listened to it, I've just been focused on listening to it. And I love how, like, especially the chorus, as Wave alluded to earlier, was that what's that final line that she says? Like she dreams of seeing you smile. I think I dream of seeing you smile.
Mm-hmm.
They like bookend the chorus, so it starts out the first line is about how she is understanding that we have love for her, and then
That's
she
amazing.
finishes the chorus by telling us how important it is that she shows her love for us. So it really felt like it kind of came full circle. Like, here is this. I know I've finally come to accept that you guys love me. I've listened to your calls and I believe you. Like, you guys love us, and now we need you to know how much we love you also. And especially, like, the final line of the song, I think it's something like she says, I dream of a world where this could be the case, where like she could always continuously see us smiling, and that I feel like that's really heartfelt. It's wholesome, it's heartfelt, and it makes you feel like it's worth it, like our support is not going unnoticed, and they appreciate us, and I didn't ever need them to really appreciate us, to love them as a band, but the fact that they do just makes it a million times better.
Yeah.
So I love the song. Just I can just read the lyrics and love it. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
a
Like she sent that as a letter.
letter.
You're just gonna love it, right? Sorry, Wave. Go ahead.
Oh, no worries. Man, I mean, you guys said it so well. Just like, okay, so the first time I watched it, I was mostly just reading the lyrics like you guys, but Then when I watched Ryan's reaction, that's when it really hit me, and that's when I teared up, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Because you broke it down so well, and just seeing the emotion on your face. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, you can see Ryan cry. And then I watched Champ's reaction, and he was on the edge of tears too, you know. And just watching both of your reactions really got to me. Alan, did you post yours yet?
I didn't post it because I didn't feel like I said anything of importance. So, like, it just turned into me just walking off camera, and I was kind of embarrassed about the whole thing. I was reacting to it with Tina, and it just hit me too. It was like one of those moments. I'm like, I had to leave, so Eric and Tina were just sitting there, and I felt horrible, so I didn't post it. I didn't feel like I offered anything of value that you guys had already said, so I just didn't post it. I was just like, but I did it live. I did watch it and stuff, but yeah.
But you liked it.
I did like. I loved it.
You weren't actually. Wave, Ryan and I, we were. Unfortunately, you got booted from the stream when we heard it the first time when we watched it at the Tokyo Garden show.
Yeah.
And we're like kind of surprised by it, right? And we kind of felt what it was about without even knowing the lyrics, like without, like, we were kind of talking about, like, we felt that there was some kind of message that was like really important coming out of that song, so it was really cool to finally get out and like see the video of it. But like, you didn't get to have that initial experience, Alan, because you got screwed over by the internet, unfortunately. But so this was really the first time that you had heard it, right?
No, I had watched Tokyo Garden Theater afterwards, and I learned how to play the song, so I know how to play it and stuff. And
okay.
Yeah, so I heard it, and the live, it was interesting because my first time hearing Memorable was the studio version, because I was just listening to it in passing. Because I knew I wasn't going to do a reaction. I was like, I've heard it already. I'm not going to film a reaction. I'd listened to it. I didn't like tear up. I heard in passing. I'm like, oh, I think I like the live version better. And I still think I do like the live lead that Konami did better. It feels different to me. But
I haven't watched the live one again because I thought it was different too when I was watching the video. I'm like, this sounds different.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing it.
And then when I
don't even remember the lead at all.
When I sat down and listened to it with Eric and Tina, I was like, that was my first, I guess I could react to it because I was like, it's my first time hearing the polished version, And I really love that they focus on Psyche's vocals a lot. Like, it's really good. And Eric and I will say this all the time from Dichotic. We're like, Psyche's amazing when she's on top of acoustic. She sounds good, of course, over all the music, but for me, she shines on acoustic settings. The acoustic album is one of my favorite albums. Like, that's the album if I want to like listen to Psyche like shine, I feel like that's such a great album to listen to. Like, you can really, it's just so awesome. That album is so good. I still like listening to that one to this day. Even more.
She gets to play with her vocals a lot more when it's kind of slowed down in acoustic, and like when it's faster, it's like she's got to keep up pace with the rest of the instruments, right? But here it's like she gets to experiment a little bit more with what she's doing, and I think that you could see way more of what she's capable of.
Yeah.
No, I gotta say, man, with the music in it, it's not getting a lot of love, and I don't understand why. Nobody's saying it's bad, trust me. I know that, but I found this with Start Over. I was listening to a track of that, the vocal stretched away, and I was going to jam to it a little bit, and it's got so much groove in it, and there's some really cool stuff going on. And Memorable, I think, as I was listening to it, the Misa, of course, because she's a insane freaking genius, was just what she does is it's just always, to me, she always seems like she's leading you from one place to another, and this one it seemed like she was kind of pushing you from one place to the other. Whatever, I don't know how to really explain it, but and then Akane, lays back at the beginning, and then at some point she's like, time to do what I fucking do. It just puts in these crazy ass fills in this freaking ballad where they have no business being, but it sounds incredible. Like,
that's
the songwriting just overall, it's never show offy, but it comes across like what are you doing? You have no business doing that in the song, but it works. And the solo was nuts, man. To me, it seems like, I don't know.
You said it the best. You said it sounded like a puppy that's waiting to be let off a leash. Is what you said in your reaction.
They
And I
just
thought
can't
that,
contain themselves. They
and they can't contain themselves.
flip
Yeah.
out and jump around.
That's such a great description.
So thanks to you, I pictured a puppy while I was watching it. As soon as the solo started off, immediately I thought of that. I'm like, it does sound like that.
So I'm gonna look back at this song without Psyche's amazing vocals and see what's going on there, and it's always another world.
The chord
Crazy.
progression is very interesting. I like the chord progression. It was a fun song to play. Like it's very interesting. So I don't think it's like basic by any means. I wasn't a fan of the recorded solo. I get what you're saying, Ryan, and I'll list it anyways. I feel like the solo was better live. I don't know why. I thought that one sounded
Can I say
fit it better.
I want to say why I love that solo. Okay, because that was the
because
one
you thought
part
of
the music
puppies.
that I didn't even consider the puppy part. But I really I thought that, okay, so I kind of compared it to Daydreaming right after I heard it, because Daydreaming is a slower song, right? But then when that solo comes in, it comes in like a freight train, right? Like just boom, and it hits you in the face. But there's a different message though, right? This song was so sort of like I didn't think it would feel appropriate to do too much craziness. So Konami kind of going back and forth from this one sort of stretched out note to keep that same vibe that was going through the rest of the song before that. It's like one note, and then she does a couple quick notes, and then one longer note again. And I felt like what that did was it allowed the song to maintain the vibe that it had beforehand without, she still threw in those couple notes that were like really quick and fast and fun to listen to. But those elongated, stretched out beginning of each phrase notes is what I felt like kept it in the vein of the rest of the song. And I loved that. I thought that it emotionally resonated with me like the rest of the song did because of the way that it was formulated around it. So I've heard better solos from Konami, like just technically speaking. But if we're talking about like how well did it fit what we were listening to right there, I thought it was like 100, like 100 out of 100.
You thought I didn't think it fit. I didn't think it fit as well, but it did break up the song to give it a different dynamics, and that's why I like it, because it is different from the rest of the song. It's like all this, like Ryan said it the best. I can't say it better than that. So it's like it was the way that you said it, Ryan, was perfect. I like it for the
thank you.
I like it for the fact that it breaks up the song. It's like, cool, you're sad, you're emotional because of what the song means. And then you're like, hey, we're badass, though. You know what I mean? Like, and they like.
See what you're saying? I didn't get that impression at all. Though. Like, I didn't feel like the solo was. Like,
they didn't go with a ballad solo. Like, that's interesting.
I thought that was as ballady as like a band.
Not at all. I don't know. To me, that was not typical.
What's a more
ballad.
ballady BAND-MAID solo? Like, even in their slow songs, they like Daydreaming. She shreds like a beast in it. You know what I mean? But this one at least. Like wasn't the whole time. It was only half the time.
I missed the piano from the Tokyo Garden Theater version, Surfing a Song Wave. I agree. I wish that piano was in there. I do.
Same. I thought the solo was genius. Like the way, because it wasn't a guitar solo. It was an instrumental section. Because Akane had such an impact on the way that guitar solo came across. She's literally doing drum fills the entire time during the solo.
Yeah, she is.
Really bolstering what Konami's doing. And I agree with Champ, the way Konami eased into the solo, but she did licks to go along with the drums. And then the way she eased out of the solo, the and then it's silence. I just thought that was genius composition because like it made a lot of guitar solos just the guitar showing off. But this was an instrumental section that, it was like a movement in a classical piece of music, You know what it made me think of? It made me think of Atabana from Nemophila, where it's like they have this breakdown section where the solo is not their craziest solo ever, but because everything is working together to create like this kind of new sound.
Yeah, man.
it all
Yeah, that's
felt
a good
really
point.
cool.
Yeah. I love that bands are doing well, especially the bands we've been watching are doing that now, where it's not just they keep playing the same four chords they were through the whole song and the guitar solo goes over it. Like every part is composing their parts around the guitar solo. That's
Yeah,
such a
it's
cool
pretty
feature.
cool, man.
Those are always the best solos, I think. Like it's so cool to change
Me
up the
too.
rhythm, you know. There's a lot of classic bands that used to do that, like out of the 70s, 80s. They would always do that. They always change up the back behind solos, and it kind of like disappeared in the 90s, like and 2000s, where like all of a sudden it was just like, let's take the chorus and play the chorus again and do
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
solo.
It wasn't cool to play guitar anymore.
Yeah. I took
So-
inspiration from this actually. Sorry to plug myself real quick, but I
Whoa,
made my last
Whoa.
original
That's
song.
what she said.
phrasing.
Phrasing for sure.
But my last
Sorry.
original song, Paola Prison, like
Yeah.
I ended up redoing the entire instrumental section under the guitar solo after I recorded it,
Nice.
and rewrote each part to like go along with the guitar solo. So there's like 6 different sections of the guitar solo, and it's all different styles of music, pretty much. But I was listening to it, I was like, man, this sucks. And I was like, what would BAND-MAID do? And so I just like tried to build that around it. And maybe it's a little too erratic and like changing theme too much, but just the fact that this band has inspired me so much to push myself more creatively and not just settle with something because it was easy at the time just really makes me happy, that because I was in such a musical rut before I heard BAND-MAID, you know.
Yeah. Wave, another cool thing to too is write music to like, you come up with the vocal melodies first before having any music at all. That's always fun. It's kind of like the same idea with the solos, I think. Like that's why I think it's fun with the solos. Like, you need to put the rhythms behind it, because then you're like changing it like crazy, and it sounds so cool. And like you guys said, and memorable. It definitely does that for the lead.
That's the thing, like I don't know if a lot of people realize how much songs evolve during the recording process.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a composition, you know, that you come with a demo, but then when everybody starts like working on it and changing their parts and changing things up in the studio, once they hear what it's going to sound like when it's done, and then it evolves and gets perfected, and it's like it's such a huge process rather than just okay, they just start playing and that's the song, you know.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
my experience.
I mean, sometimes when you hear the recording back, you're just like, wow, how did I think that worked? You know, like it seemed so cool in my head, and then you actually hear the playback, and you're just like, what the fuck was I thinking, bro?
Hey,
Like,
sometimes
and then you
sometimes you're like, oh, that's better than I thought it was gonna be.
yeah. I mean, a lot of the time though, I found that like I'll be recording something and I'll just be like, you know, I think I'll think too much in the writing process, right? Like I'll just be in my brain trying to like make these minuscule changes that I think are going to be really cool. When in reality, it would sound good if I just went dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Sometimes simpler is way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found myself as someone, if I'm writing a song or whatever, and similar thing, what would BAND-MAID do? But then I'm like, you know what? That's not the way I write.
Right.
Now, it's not to say you can't, you know, take inspiration from them and utilize that, and I have, you know, small changes and stuff, but you can definitely get yourself dug into a musical hole trying to pull off shit that they do.
Oh,
And especially if you're like me, where you're a guy that's really good at writing like blues that just repeats the same shit over and over and soloing over that and making it sound interesting. When you start changing other shit, it's like, oh, now I got to change this, and then you just don't finish the project. Is what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a domino effect.
I do need to add.
Nope.
I'm like, what would BAND-MAID do if they sucked like I do? So I'm right within my
Whoa.
capabilities.
Phrasing again.
Full of phrasing.
God damn, Wave, you're on a roll.
Oh my gosh. Can we put the starting screen back on?
I was about to say, like, that's why I love sending stuff to you, Ryan, though, because you have like the blues background. Be like, hey man, what do you think about this melody? And then you're like, oh, you think of some melody outside the box. That's super helpful in bands.
Nice.
And I think with these bands that are really good, I have a feeling with Nemophil and BAND-MAID more specifically, I think they really work within each other to do different styles, or like kind of blend it. They're just really good at blending different ways of doing things,
Yeah.
Sometimes you hear a blues line in the lyrics, right? A lot of vocals are in a blues phrasing most of the time. Actually, they'll take out those other notes, right, over like minor scale.
Pick out the 2 and the 6.
Yeah, exactly, and just play that pen. I mean, and that's always the good way to do it because it's going to be catchy, It's always awesome.
Then when you do throw in a 2 or a 6, it sounds weird and fun.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Or just like flat it, turn it, or flat or sharper to make the harmonic minor or something like that randomly. And you're like, what? That always throws it. That still gets me when I hear a song. All of a sudden, I hear a random chord go outside. I'm like, oh, I heard that.
Konami does that a lot.
Like every song, like every song they've ever written.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dang. Yeah.
So out of the
what
3
did you
songs,
guys out of the 3 songs?
I was
Sorry,
about to,
Alan, go ahead.
you read my mind. I was about to say that. Out of the 3 songs, what was everyone's favorite? Champ, go.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
What 3 songs?
So
3
lyrically, lyrically, my favorite was the BAND-MAID one. I mean, by far, and I'm almost viewing it in a different perspective as of the other 2 songs because it's like a clean acoustic style song, and it's made for a different purpose, right? Musically speaking, and I have to go back and listen to the memorable like more deeply, like you guys ended up doing afterwards, because every time I've heard it, I'm just like enthralled by I'm emotionally resonating with it, and it's like almost hard for me to pay attention to the actual instrumentation. But so I need to hear it again. But musically, I absolutely loved "Stand and Deliver" by LOVEBITES. I thought that was like. And again, it was because it didn't sound like a lot of the Love Bite stuff that I've heard. I fucking loved it.
You're cheating.
If you're asking, if the question is which one am I going to listen to, if the question is which one am I going to listen to the most out of the 3, it's the Love Bite song. If the question is,
no, we asked you the question
which
already.
one
We said, "What's your number 1?"
I don't have an answer.
You're changing the question on us,
Dude. Champ stole my answer.
You guys are changing the question. I just said, which one is your favorite? I guess it's going to be the one that you listen to the most, right? Go back to listen to. What about you?
What you got?
Go, Ryan. What about you?
You want to get it?
I want to go listen to the BAND-MAID song like right now. Because here's what happened. I listened to it, right? And it was great and touching and had all the feels. And then I got in my car and listened to it. I'm like, this sounds freaking incredible. Just the sound of it was great. Hearing everything nice and clear.
I got
one of the better
because I listened to it since I heard it on the live. When it went live, I listened to it at work, and then I listened to it in my car, and then I got home and listened to it with headphones, and it just kept blowing my mind. Like just the instrumentation of it was great, man. The just how it was done, the sound, everything was just great, and I just kept listening to it like, God, that freaking bass, dude. What's that bass? And then the Connie comes in and just, I don't know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So it went from being an automatic just because the sentiment of it to being just a great song, And I was kind of surprised, and not surprised it was good, but that type of song would have the instrumentation that just kept me coming back to it. And it's just interesting how we're all seeing it kind of differently. The LOVEBITES one I heard for the first time today. So, I'm going to listen to that again. I haven't listened to BABYMETAL yet. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I may be a little biased, but.
What about you, Wave?
BAND-MAID is probably my favorite one.
So, Alan,
big surprise.
I asked you, Wave. See you guys changing questions around.
Well,
I'm kidding.
Champ basically said what I was thinking. Like lyrically, obviously, I have the biggest emotional connection to BAND-MAID, and it's just mind blowing that they would take the time and energy to make, a song like this, and literally probably squeezed it in to, I don't know if it was the U.S. tour or the Last Rock Stars where they shot the music video, because it was shot outside of L.A., right?
Yeah, I
It's
think
definitely
it.
an American desert.
In the desert.
Yeah.
Lancaster, I think.
But I'm sure like they were obviously in the middle of a tour or, you know, where they were performing, and they took time to go shoot that music video. And it's just like, you know, the amount of energy they give to the fans, even when they're already busy on a tour where the last thing you want to think about is making a music video, but they made time for it when they probably would have rather been resting for the show they're going to play, and put out this video so quickly after the round of tours and stuff they've been doing.
Probably part of the reason why it was, just Miku. It's a lot easier to take a couple camera guys and one member out and get some really good shots, which ends up with a really touching video, because it's.
I love that they recorded over here.
Logically, it's just easier to do it with one person instead of like the whole crew.
It's like
while they can work on other shit. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they did it.
Oh, this poll is rough, dude.
I put up a poll for you guys. There you go. You can't put
Just
three.
out of the two
You only put
bands?
two. You can't put more than two. I figured everyone's putting Baby Metal as last, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll just put Love Bites and BAND-MAID.
Sorry, Baby Metal, you're not on the thing.
I actually hate to do that though, because I liked the Baby Metal song almost as much as the Love Bites song.
See,
Like,
for
I
me,
really
Almost.
enjoyed them both.
Almost. That means you didn't like it as much.
for me it goes.
I know, but it feels so bad being last.
For me it
Did I
goes.
put Baby
it
Metal
goes-
on there.
For me, it goes BAND-MAID, but I know that might be really biased. Very.
Yeah,
And then Baby
totally.
Metal second, and then third Love Bites. Love Bites was definitely bottom for me. I did that. I just didn't like that song. I don't know. I don't get it, guys.
I want to listen to it because I'm really curious. Because if you don't like it, and nobody else likes it, I'm probably gonna love it.
Oh, what? No, talk about Love Bites. Love Bites. You
Oh,
heard
okay,
Love
Love
Bites.
Bites.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're off your ass on that. That's a fucking great song.
Yeah, I
promise.
just don't think it is. But yeah,
Oh man.
I would listen
I'm
to the
gonna- I
Baby
gotta be
Metal
honest,
song
though,
over
like,
it. I would. Like, if
the-
you gave me a choice,
the-
that Love Bites song or Baby Metal, definitely listen to the Baby Metal.
Right on.
I don't even like, I'm not mad about that. Like, I think that's I like that song too. I honestly think, because it's funny, like, it's coming off to me like maybe this wasn't like, everybody's favorite week of drops from these bands. I felt like overwhelmingly positive about the three of them combined.
Yeah.
I was really happy, like, the direction that they're all going in.
They're all different.
Maybe
All
it's
three of them were different, to be honest. All three of the releases were, like, not expected by either of the
It was
bands.
kind of like the best week ever, dude. Getting new releases from all three of those bands in one
Yeah,
week.
it's pretty awesome.
Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Just be happy we got them.
Uh-huh.
Want to bring this up before we go on to this other little quick piece of news. BAND-MAID in Europe. So, they
here we
haven't
go.
played over
Did
there.
Did Orange get to you? Fucking crying about shit.
He did. Orange sent me a letter. He's like, please talk about this on the Guys and Guys podcast. Nobody brings it up. No, I was kidding. There
Sign
was
this petition.
there was a good point. I don't know if it's true. This is all speculation. It's entertainment purposes only. All right, none of this is facts.
Right.
Okay.
GG speculates.
Yeah, GG speculates 100%. So somebody's bringing up that it's much more difficult, but other bands have done it, and I'm aware of this, but maybe they had it figured out to get their visas passable, or like the amount of money to get those passable to get into Europe might be rough, and might be why they're not getting over there. Where the U.S. it was extremely easy to do so. Is that true?
I think
have
it's
no clue.
visas and transportation, like getting buses and just getting trucks to move gear is so much more expensive in Europe right now. That's what I've read over on a few different band pages, is that it's just so expensive to just get around there that it's not feasible to go and make money.
That's why Anthrax canceled their show.
Yeah.
Their shows over in Europe. Like earlier last year, or I think last summer, Anthrax was supposed to go over the summer, and then they gave this big announcement saying like, it's not worth it for it's going to cost us more to travel around than the amount that we're going to actually make by playing the shows over there.
I mean, that
I have
sucks
another
from
theory.
from a fan standpoint to hear that, but if a band doesn't make money on a tour, they literally just can't fucking do another one. You know,
Yeah.
They can't be a band
feeds
anymore.
that feeds the band, who everybody working for them, and
Yep.
it supports like the next album. If you can't make money going out, or at least freaking break even, then
And here's
you're
go ahead.
go ahead. I'm done.
I was gonna say here's the other thing I was gonna tell you, Ryan. If they make it in the U.S., they're gonna go to Europe eventually,
Yeah.
like
They'll
guaranteed.
have a little more cha-ching.
And they're gonna make way more money in the U.S. Like I think, if I'm thinking about this, like most bands that do really well in the U.S. are gonna go to Europe eventually. So it's not out of the question. Just gotta be patient. Like let them blow up in the U.S. Let them focus on the U.S. and get a huge fan base where they do have the capital raised and stuff, and then I'm sure they'll hit up Europe. I don't have a doubt in my mind they'll go to Australia, Europe, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so too. But yeah, probably South America also. There's a
'Cause
lot of-
it would be a bad
I mean,
strategy
I
to
think-
focus on Europe first,
you
in
know,
my
it's
opinion.
probably
You're breaking up, champ. Okay, go ahead. Now you're back.
Oh, sorry. I actually just stopped talking. I was gonna let you go. I just I don't know this for a fact. Again, GG speculates, but it's probably also easier to travel from state to state than country to country.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I mean, once you
Right.
get here,
Customs.
you got a few thousand miles you can travel around under the same visa as opposed
It's like
to
50 countries put together without
Yeah.
state or without
Right. So even though like
customs.
size wise, you know, in Europe, size wise, if you created the America sized area in Europe, you'd have to travel through several countries
right
to
right,
do
that's a
that.
good
Well,
point.
once you get in America, you're just driving from state to state. It's easy.
It is smarter from like a business aspect to focus on one country at a time, and then because maybe the last time they went to Europe, maybe they didn't recuperate as much as you might have think. I know they did go there before. Maybe they didn't make enough money over there, and maybe they looked at it.
It's wrong. Shabo said there are no border checkpoints in Europe.
Okay. Anyways,
What does
so,
that mean? So you could just travel from country to country, easy peasy?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
cool. Never mind then. I take it all back.
Okay.
Sorry,
okay,
Alan.
Gotcha. But if like what I'm thinking is they probably didn't make as much as they did last time they went to Europe, and probably what they're thinking are like, well, let's just focus on this first, and then after that we'll start spreading out. Because if you spread yourself too thin, it could get a little dicey. If you don't have a significant fan base from every single country, right? And then they have all the numbers. We don't know what the numbers are. We don't know what the turnout is. We don't know how much money. And their management seems really smart, and they're doing all the right things and making all the right moves to make sure that they grow properly. And it seems like to me, like with the Last Rock Stars, they were coming to the U.S. The Last Rock Stars were here in the U.S. So yeah, why not come back to the U.S., take advantage of that, and keep spreading it out since they're over here. But I could be wrong. Like I said, I think they're just focusing on a country at a time, and I think they will play other countries probably in the next couple of years or so after they solidify a fan base.
Cool. I was wrong again. It's the European Union, not all of Europe, that has no checkpoints.
I don't know.
So
what the
just to
European Union
clarify.
is.
Me neither. I had to Google it.
We're Gaijins for more than just Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah. That's why I say Japanese music news and other related music.
We also don't know shit about the EU.
I just thought EU was an abbreviation.
we should have an EU podcast,
Like
probably.
US.
Wave, until you just said that right now, I thought that too. So
Oh,
Yeah.
you're not
thanks.
alone in that. I don't even know other things about other states. I thought Florida and Indiana were right next to each other. Apparently, so.
Right, Ryan, where are you?
You're near
About
Florida, right?
24 hours away, dude. We can't meet up for a beer.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. And
It's like you're in Florida all the time, aren't
for
you?
those of you that don't know, Champ, what did you say in the Discord? You were like, Ryan,
I
aren't
was
you
just
here?
like, yo, Ryan, where in Florida you at, bro? I'm down here. And he was like at least 12 hours out. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, yeah, I live in Indiana. I was like, oh, I'm gonna leave.
Let's just move on then.
Champ was like, is
Dude,
that
don't
a
worry. I got a
state?
7% in geography in 7th grade. So
But hey, thanks, man, for inviting me out for like a beer. That's cool.
I know.
Yeah, I wanted to come hang. At least you know that my intentions were good.
Champ's like, oh, that's a whole other state that he lives in.
Yeah, you know.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think I gotta learn American geography before I move on to the European geography.
Does
Oh.
Europe have geography? I'm kidding.
So, Gacker Spin is releasing a new album, guys. It's been 2
Yeah,
years.
Nice.
6-member
Yeah.
female rock band Gacker Spin, which attracts attention from overseas, held a one-man live at Lion Cube Shibuya on the 23rd. They're going to be releasing the album on the sorry, this is translation. Released an album for the first time in 2 years. It was announced that the company will be transferred to Nippon Crown, so they're changing record
Ooh.
labels, which is BAND-MAID's old record label, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, so
Or
I couldn't
will be
find the
corrected
date of
immediately.
November. I was trying to find the date when this album's coming out, but the point is there's an album's coming out. If you guys can help me out in the chat, let me know when it's coming out. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's
Sweet,
the
yeah.
one bummer with Gatrick Spin is like everything's in Japanese, you know, so it's hard to like keep track of what they're doing
Mm-hmm.
without
Yeah,
relying on
Some
crappy
of the,
translations.
J-Rock
Yeah,
News,
it
can
is
you do
unfortunate.
some articles about Gacker Spin, please?
Yeah, J-Rock News, come on.
Andrew, are you in the chat?
Okay, Home Gnome says singles in April and June. Cool.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Do you
Nice.
guys all like Gatrick Spin?
I do.
Yeah,
I
I
do.
do.
they're one of my
Oh,
favorites.
sweet.
Don't
Okay,
you?
Cool. Yeah, I love them. I think that they're great.
All right.
Hannah's one of my like she's on the same level as Konami and Miyako for me, you know.
She's insane, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
They're all pretty
Oh.
great. I mean, the fact that they could just switch up instruments at any given moment
Yeah.
and play each other's is pretty amazing. You guys ever watch their older stuff when they still had dancers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen
I gotta
that.
say, I loved that. Yeah, they used to have like 2 or 3 dancers up front that would just dance. That's what they did.
Wow.
I thought it was cool as hell. I wish they would bring that back.
Oh yeah.
Hardbros mentioned something right now. He says, I need a Dollbox comeback album. I would love that. I
Oh
should
my
go
God,
listen to
that
the
would
other
be
album.
Heck yeah, dude.
That would be awesome.
Even if just they just kept Angie and just did some heavier stuff like those, actually. But I'd like to hear Fuki with them too. That'd be amazing.
That's the thing. Like the band themselves are so talented, especially like Oreo. Is such an insane pianist / keyboard player to be able to dance like that while playing these insanely complex piano and
Some pretty
synth
incredible vocals
stuff.
too.
It's like, oh yeah, her voice.
I'm with Ryan
Like,
about
so
like.
much talent.
You guys, wait, you guys talking about Dollbox or Gacker Spin?
Yeah.
Both.
Both? I would say with Dollbox, like I'm with Ryan. I love Fuki over that band so much more. I was like,
Think
Nah,
I definitely
Gatrick
listen
Spin
to
and
Doll's Box more.
Unlucky
than-
Morpheus would ever tour together.
I
and
don't.
have
Yeah, I don't
Dollbox.
want to. I don't want to slow Unlucky Morpheus down at all by doing it.
sorry, Dollbox over Unlucky
Yeah.
Morpheus.
I don't listen to Lucky Morpheus.
Yeah, they're an insane statement. You're insane people.
That's an insane statement. I think you're insane.
Unlucky Morpheus is one of the best bands I've ever heard in my life.
What's that? What's that icebox?
Unlucky Morpheus is one of the best bands I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
Yeah, and Dollbox is just better.
They're one of the best bands I ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
and I
I
tend
mean-
to listen to them.
It's kind of
Put
crazy
your
how
gloves
they,
on, boys.
There's
We're
two
right next
good
door to each
bands.
other. We'll fucking fight,
Oh.
dude.
I know. I mean,
I'll be in like
Ryan-
5 minutes, Mr. Indiana.
Ryan will be right over.
I can't believe I wasted so much of my life like thinking there was no good new music,
Yeah,
and
it's
here
pretty
like
crazy.
there's too much now.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right. There is
right.
too much.
Right? Yeah.
There is too much.
Oh,
Bro, I didn't
man.
listen to music for like 5 years. Like straight up. I was so bored by everything that I had heard. And now it's like I can't even find the time to listen to my favorite band's new stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a kind of an insane statement right there. I don't have time to listen to my favorite band's music.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many bands that
crazy.
are great that I had no idea existed before. It's like, man,
It's
a
okay.
lot
One,
out there.
one of my
Now,
favorite
you guys,
Even try to write original music. No one's got time for that.
you guys ever like go? Because I listen to mainly stuff from outside the U.S. and a lot of it's Japanese, but there's from all over. And sometimes like, well, maybe there's the same type of thing going on here, and I'm just being biased and just listening to stuff outside. So, I'll listen to new stuff in the US and I'm like, yeah, it's not as good. Like I'm
It's
trying
not
to
doing as
pinpoint
much.
what it is. What it is that isn't as good. And I
Yeah.
think it's that it could be the same style, but the drums just aren't doing shit or the bass isn't doing shit. So
It's
we're
low
used to
effort.
hearing top tier instrumentalists at every position in a band that when you come back here and it's like, yeah, they got a really good singer. It's like that's just not enough anymore, man.
Yeah.
You got to have like every musician be a freaking insane instrumentalist, and then
I feel like
or it's just boring.
for some reason it feels like all the singers in the U.S. sound the same. Although they're all good singers,
Sound like
but
us.
they're all like cookie cutter singers. Am I crazy, or maybe not all of them? I could be not listening to enough. Too. There's that. There's that also.
No.
I don't listen to
It's-
American music.
I find it hard to find. I find it hard to find new bands in America. Honestly, like I just nobody ever recommends them, and like you kind of gotta do your own research and just like hope that you get lucky to find one of these. But like
You know,
the vocals are rarely my issue with American music. It's usually just that I find the instrumentation simple. Like maybe they are top tier instrumentalists if they had put that into the songs themselves. But I find that when they actually write the song, it comes off as like much more basic.
Yeah.
it was funny.
Whatever
There's a
they would
band
do
that
over there.
every band that I get into, right, that I like a lot, that like somebody will show me. And one of the bands I was like, oh, they're probably from the U.S. because I'm assuming they sing it in English and completely forget there's other countries that have English speaking. But but like I'll find out they're from Australia. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
they're not even from the
Yeah.
U.S. Or they're from the U.K. I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah.
Weird how like some singers are so good at hiding their accents while
Yeah.
they sing. Like the
Yeah.
accents just disappear while they're singing.
Yeah.
I really feel what Norman said though. They're all trying to get on the radio. Like you can guarantee
Sure.
if there is a band that's making music like interesting, like we want to hear, they're not playing it on the radio, and that's why
Right.
so many bands, like you were saying, even if they have the talent, they're not writing songs like that because stupid U.S. radio stations won't play their music, and
Well,
they'll
like-
never find their audience.
like Mustang said,
Yeah.
U.S. singers these days just sound like robots with pitch correction. That's fine. Do like what Passcode does. That's unique. You know, you can still make that unique. You know, having
The
robots.
American music system corporation is broken right now because of payola. Like you have to already know someone that has the money to pay the radio stations to play your music. So you have to sign to this huge label that just sucks the soul out of you and makes you make the same regurgitated radio crap. And so there's no ambition or evolving in the, mainstream music world anymore because they're all just trying to appeal to the simple, catchy part of the human brain, I guess, that likes the simple crap that
Think
is
about it.
easy to get into right away.
If
They
you're not writing
capitalize.
something that's super simple and catchy, then you're not going to be fucking promoted.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no depth in it because it's not, it's like
But-
same with movies. They think their audiences are too stupid to appreciate any depth. So they're like, what will hit?
Well, they have to be
Like,
going
right
out of
away.
business now because nobody's really listening to radio anymore. Are they? Like,
That's
how
what-
many
that's what I
people?
was
No,
about
there
to
is
say,
there's a lot
why
of people,
don't
dude.
garner towards the radio.
We don't, but there's millions of people listening to shit on the radio
You-
all the
really?
time.
Okay, I was wondering
And
about that because you're right. We're
It's
removed.
still
We're removed from it. You're absolutely right. Like Frank
Yeah.
still listens to the radio, which blew my mind. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm on a
Yeah.
tractor all day. We just have the radio." I'm like, "Bro, He's like, he told me he literally just goes to the jazz station. There's a jazz station he can
Yeah.
get to. He won't listen to that." I'm like, I didn't even think people listen to radio still. And he's
that's
like,
why it's so
Stream
hard
something
for us. Yeah, that's why it's so hard for us to find people that like BAND-MAID because most people don't appreciate their musicianship. Most general people don't, Most
That's
people
why-
just want to hear something easy and catchy because they're just musically ignorant.
Because they spend all day on
Just-
TikTok and they're used to not having to expend any
Hey,
effort.
TikTok blew up Hana BA, Gotta give
Oh, yeah,
TikTok
yeah.
some credit,
What's up with them?
Dude, I gotta tell you guys, I'm talking to my kid over here about this yesterday, and he's saying that like like all the music that his friends in high school are listening to, it's all coming from TikTok. Like that's where they're hearing all this music first time, because they don't listen to the radio. These 14, 15-year-olds, he's never going to turn on the radio in his life. I don't think. He's watching TikTok, finding new information, new music from that, and that's what him and all his friends are talking about.
Dude, my son does. He's working on Rage Against the Machine or fucking working on like a Metallica song or something. Like, where'd you get that? It's like, oh, TikTok. I'm like, right on, dude. And he's like, oh, I like Hank 3 and Nirvana and Metallica and like Slipknot a lot right now. And I'm like, oh, right on, dude.
That's
musically,
enjoy that shit.
See, you guys are good influences on your kids for helping them get into good music, though. Sorry, Champ. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think that, like, okay, so I'd prefer for them to find music through TikTok than to find it through the radio, because the radio is going to be like the same top 40 crap over and over and over and over again. Like, I mean, they're still playing goddamn the same Bad Romance song by Lady Gaga from 2005, like 50 times a day. You know what I mean?
It's because that's the best song ever, Champ. No.
I do like that song.
But besides that point, you know, the next one. But like when they go on TikTok, they are hearing like classic rock jams and stuff like that. Yeah. Like he knows some Cream songs. You know what I mean? Like he would have never heard that. I probably wasn't.
Well, is TikTok like the fucking Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Guitar Hero?
No, it's
those things brought in. Yeah, but they opened their eyes of many people to music they wouldn't listen to because it was a game. Yeah. There were all these bands like, what is this? And then Guitar Hero did the same shit. And now it's like TikTok, like they make a goofy video to some song that they're making fun of, and then they end up listening to the song.
Exactly. and the music
leads to
spectrum
other
on
things.
There,
yeah,
the spectrum is so diverse. Like they hear these rap songs, like underground rap songs that like get popular, but then they also hear songs from the 70s and shit. Like you're not going to get both of those things from one radio station. No, if you turn that on, you know. Yeah. So I wonder how, you know, I don't know if TikTok is going to last, like how long it's going to last, like all these social media platforms that disappear. And there's a lot of things that aggravate me about TikTok in general, but musically, it's probably the best thing that's come out for the young.
Interesting.
I started putting up guitar scales. Oh, go ahead. You were breaking up, Champ. That's why I talked over you by accident. Sorry. Go ahead. Say that again. The last part.
Oh, I was just saying that the of all of the social media presence that we've had over the last like 10 years, TikTok is probably the one that has allowed for the younger generation to find the most diverse music that we've had access to.
Right on.
And that's exactly why I started posting guitar scales on TikTok, and they're do well because there's kids out there that want to learn music. You know, when I sit down with my son and we go over scales and stuff, he just
maybe that's so I could teach my son because he won't ask me.
Yeah. Just tell him
to put it on TikTok and then he fucking listen to
TikTok. Tell him to follow me on TikTok. He can learn all this.
No, I'm not gonna tell him follow you. Don't put my own videos up.
Literally, I was showing my son the minor pentatonic scale. I'm like, here, watch my TikTok video if you forget.
Dude, that's the way to do it. Because
I totally bummed him out the other day because he was learning a song and he's like, "Oh, check it out! I learned this." And I'm like, "That's cool." I'm like, yeah, "Let me show you something." I showed him the right way to play it, and he's like he learned it by himself and he wanted to show me. And I'm like, "Yeah, you're wrong." I was like, "Fucking asshole! Why did I do that?"
Yeah,
like, you're wrong. I'm like, let me show you this. Here's how he's actually playing it. You know,
you gotta be careful because you only can show them when they want you to show them.
I know, dude. That would have hit me. I'm like, oh, I was trying to be cool about it. I'm like, I just told him he was wrong. And I basically showed him he had to relearn the whole thing. That wasn't cool.
That's like when I learned.
I probably hurt his spirit a little bit.
Yeah.
I've done that
too. Happened to me when I was younger. Like I learned Smoke on the Water on the low E string, just one note.
That's the right note.
And then they're like, actually, it's in G, and it's this power, like this dyad power chord. Yeah. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I guess I can't play it with you guys.
I got carried away the other day. I was teaching him, right? I'm like, and I get overly excited when I'm teaching. So I'm like, then he can do this and do this. And my son literally looks at me. He's like, show off. Like, I'm sorry. Here you go. I'm like, then he can do this and then do that. His mind was just like looking at me. I'm like, all right, let's go back to the first thing I showed you.
Yeah. That's why it's hard for like experienced people to teach because you expect them to know all the stuff you already know. So you're like, it's just like this. And then you're like, oh.
Yeah. I tried to bring it back and be like, you know, man, what you do is fucking cool, man. It's good.
It's like when friggin' Rick Beato posts those guitar videos, like going up different modes and like play the 1-3-7 and just go up octave by octave in this mode, and he's like,
And he shreds
It's
down
like,
the
what the hell
guitar.
did I just watch? I don't know how to do this just from watching that.
It helps if you
Honestly,
compress his videos. They're easier to watch.
Rick Beato
That's a joke.
inspired me more or less to do those scale videos because I was like, dude, come on, man. Nobody's going to follow this.
At least show the tab on the screen.
Right.
And, yeah. Or when he does show the tab, it lights up super fast. So it's like, like nobody's
And you can't pause on shorts,
yeah.
or like it's really hard to.
That's why I
Dude,
just
this is one of the benefits of kind of sucking at my instrument. And, you know, I if I want to show my son something, I'm never gonna even like outshine him.
Okay, champ, you need to start a
Somebody got
TikTok
that.
channel for guitar lessons, and everyone can send their kids to you.
Hey,
to learn.
who wants to learn? What beginners want to learn from a beginner?
Then when they
Gotcha.
pass your course, they can move on
you'd
to
be
Alan's
surprised.
page.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people out there. That's why I didn't take it for granted putting up those scales. I'm like, no, I have a feeling people on TikTok are, because I couldn't find any guitar lessons on TikTok. I'm like, there's nothing on here. Let me just see how this works. And let me just post like basic mini lessons, you know, that are helpful. It's
Cool, man.
But I think that's hey, if that's where they're at, that's where they're at. I know TikTok is not the greatest thing ever. But I mean, they
Well,
can
you
find
guys are
some
making me
lessons.
hopeful about it. Like
It's got its
listening,
use.
because like I personally like I watch a lot of videos that talk about the really stupid side of TikTok. So I'm like, God,
Yeah.
that's just TikTok's destroying us. But then when I hear what you guys are saying, like you can definitely find really cool communities on TikTok. I mean, YouTube's
Oh,
the same
definitely.
way, you know, like if you find the cool and productive communities actually in there, it can be such a cool platform.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
thanks for-
No, totally true. Totally true. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. You know, it's still like 90% girls that can't dance dancing to terrible music. But the rest of it, well, there's no, you know, like my mom's got TikTok and she just follows it for recipes. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
like, hey, go nuts. You know, it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, why don't you use YouTube for recipes? I mean, I'm just saying. I don't.
Consolidation.
Yeah. True. Just to let you guys know, J-Rock News has an awesome article about the last rock stars and them having BAND-MAID up there, as written by Andrew White and Erica. So you guys should check it out. It's a really in-depth review of the concert and what went on and how BAND-MAID came on. They talk about their songs. I'm sure Andrew had something to do with
That's
that
part
part.
of the article.
So go ahead and check that out. It's a really good article. I think you should check it out. And guys, we have a top 10 today. We have some big changes, but there's a band that's going to disrupt the top 10 again, and because they're doing another Attack on Titan song. Sim is coming out with a new Attack on Titan
Oh shit!
thing in March 4th.
We'll have to bottle up the top 10 for another 3 months.
And if it's anything like their last song, The Rumbling, which was a badass song. By the way, Wave, we should cover this song when it comes out. Just saying.
Cover it before it comes out.
Yeah, let's cover it before it comes
I
out.
have like 45 drum tracks I got to record.
Fuck all those. Just throw them in the back burner. Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3. Is this the final season? I feel like they said it was the final season, part 2. Or is like all of it the final part season? Is there gonna be part 4?
They make enough money, they'll probably have another season.
Another season.
This is
Uh,
from my understanding, this is the final season. It's the third part of the final season.
Oh, so there's probably another part then. There's probably part 4 and 5. At that point, you might as well just say season 5, 6, 7. I mean, right?
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
they're pretty long too. Like at least I'm still in the first season, but it's like 26 episodes long. So they
So
probably
this-
could have broken it.
This
down
is
if they
coming
wanted
out
to.
Saturday, March 4th, guys. I'm excited. I like their last cover. I like the last Attack on Titan song they came out with. It's gonna be called Under the Tree. Excited for it. So going into our top 10 of bands. So in 10 we have Clouds Across the Moon by
Hey, it's
Passcode.
Passcode.
So Passcode is a Japanese metal idol group that was formed in Osaka in 2013 and consists of 4 vocalists, Naominami Kade and Takashima. Emily, Arima, and Hinako were the prior members. Passcode is supported by a backup band, if you guys didn't know about Passcode. I think everyone here probably knows about Passcode.
Passcode rules.
Susie drops down 2 spots. Number 8, we have Tatsuya Kitani, Scar, that's staying right there at 8. That's been in the top 10 for a while. Londi plummeting down to number 7, dropping 4 spots. Big changes, guys. Number 6, 1OK Rock with their Sonic theme song, Vandalize, going down a spot to number 6. Number 5, we have Zutomayo going down 3 spots. Number 4, we have Hanabiye jumping up another 2 spots. Look at them go, guys. Number 4. I really like Hanabiye. I can't wait to see what they come out with next. I'm really excited.
I love them.
Baby Metal. Number 3, Metal Kingdom. Number 2, TK, First Death drops a spot. And number 1, this is new. I don't know what this is. The first slam dunk. 10
It looks like the last Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It's a Japanese rock band formed in 1997 in Kyoto, signed to Universal Music. Oh, I hate that label of Japan, and managed by
Unless you want to sponsor us,
Badass.
and then you're welcome.
Yeah, then we love you. They're the ones that block everything, by the
Produce
way.
our album with no contract.
Yeah. Don't block any of our reactions, please. We'd appreciate it. Universal Music, it's pretty much the Universal Music Group, and they're managed by Badass, whoever that is. Amazing name. Their music styles are a mix of rock, punk, heavy metal, reggae, hip hop, guitar pop, and bossa nova. That's like every fucking genre. Like,
Dude, I fucking love bossa nova.
did we miss a genre?
There's no country in there. Thank God.
There's no country.
I really want to listen to that.
I mean, got everything here. This is the
Me
ending
too.
theme
Yo,
for the.
we should do this for
What
our
is-
Patreon next week.
There we
What's
go.
it called
do it.
again? What's the band and the song?
This is for an
10
anime
feet is the
movie
thing.
called The First Slam Dunk, and it's by Dai Zero Khan.
Okay.
10 feet is the name of the song.
I mean,
Cool.
straight to number 1. That's
I mean,
crazy.
it's probably good to mention the band and the name of the song.
I did say that. I said it in the beginning.
10
No.
feet. That's
10 feet.
cool.
Cool.
All
Looks
right.
interesting. I love that blend of styles. Can I just say real quick before we move on? I'm seeing one of the bands on the top 10 tonight.
Nice.
Who?
1OK Rock.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
right on.
Yeah,
Where are you
open-
seeing them?
The Target Center in Minneapolis. They're opening for Evanescence and Muse.
But we're going to stream
Damn.
all day.
Wow.
No,
It's gonna be a
that's gonna-
pretty crazy show. 3 huge bands.
Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty crazy show.
You
man.
should go live afterwards and report on 1OK Rock. Be interested to hear your
Yeah.
thoughts of the
Yeah,
live
maybe
concert.
I will.
I'll join you. Let me know if you do.
Oh,
be cool
sweet.
That'd be
Okay.
cool to talk about.
So is Muse the headliner for that? Or
Yeah.
is it a okay.
I
That's
predict
awesome,
that
man.
1OK Rock will be the best band, and Wave's gonna be blown away, and it's gonna knock Muse off his top favorite.
Have you
band.
heard 1OK Rock, Alan?
I have. I don't think that's gonna happen, but
Okay. Yeah, I listened. I found the set list from the Chicago show they played last night and started listening to the songs. And they're okay, but kind of like what we were just talking about with American music is the vocalist is amazing, but the music still has yet to impress me. You know.
Which is weird because they've inspired so many of the bands we listen to.
Yeah. Well, I've only heard 2 of their songs.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking
that's
out of
pretty
complete
accurate, though.
ignorance right now.
That's pretty. I've probably heard like 10, and I would probably say the exact same thing. That Taka is one of the best, at least male vocalists out there for rock. You know, I just absolutely
That's what you-
love his vocal.
oh, okay.
I'm excited to hear him sing live.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Rio's the best.
No, I said one.
You saw like the comments on my Yoyoka documentary. It's like she's not the best, and I'm like, I said one of the best.
No, Wave. It has to be the best, or you're wrong. Let's just go
speaking of
around.
which,
Let's say it's
just
the
to
best
tack
for everything. Go ahead.
just to tack on to that news about the last rock stars and BAND-MAID in LA, Yoyoka was also at that show.
Oh yeah.
And she met she not only jammed with Miyavi, but she also met Yoshiki.
Yeah,
Which she
that's
posted on
awesome.
Twitter. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we played that last. We talked about it last week.
Well, that was
Yoshiki.
Miyavi, but she also met Yoshiki, which she just tweeted out like yesterday.
Oh, send me the link and I'll bring it up.
Stupid
I didn't know
gaijin.
that.
It's in our chat.
Wasn't it the same person? No,
I don't-
Alan, it wasn't the same person.
No, it's not. I only see one link from you, Wave.
Here,
I don't see-
I'll
Oh, you're right. It's right here. I missed it. My
Okay,
bad.
sweet.
That is totally my fault. My bad. Yeah.
no
here it
worries.
is. If it
But
loads.
I just thought that was exciting. That I don't know how if it was just like a meet and greet or if they talked much, but it'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, so it says
Them work
here, I
together.
finally had the opportunity to meet Yoshiki, who I've looked up to for so many years. Thank you for your wonderful speech. I had the best time with a live Rockstars gig in LA. It would be a dream to have a drum session with him next time in LA. Hint, hint, probably going to happen.
Dude,
Yeah.
yes.
So now you're one person away from Yoshiki and Miyavi now. Wave.
Bam.
Now, well, she also saw BAND-MAID at that show, so
Oh,
God
But-
damn.
I don't. Maybe I like she wasn't super into them last time I asked her, or Glenn. I think Glenn Black asked her about them, but after seeing them live, maybe she has a different opinion. Who knows?
Ryan is like dumbfounded. We just broke Ryan.
Well, okay,
She'd be like-
I understand because she said she doesn't like the trigger drum sounds, which even though we know kind of doesn't use triggers live, the overly compressed drums that are on some of the songs, like on Unseen World and stuff, might, if she's just listening to the studio versions, not actually seeing the band play, I can see why she would be turned off because the dynamics in that album, like especially on Spotify where it's all compressed, are pretty rough.
Yeah. What's up with the hand gesture? What is this? The hand
X.
thing?
I don't know.
Ex-Japan.
Ex-Japan? Oh.
Don't think too hard about it, man.
I definitely thought way too hard about that for sure, 100%. All right, top 10 covers. Wagaki Band falling down 3 spots, but there was a new thing that showed up on here, and it was the cover of Baby Metal Monochrome. So he says, "What is this? Another Dichotic cover? I call fix. No, wait, they don't pay me enough to fix it. Actually, they don't pay me at all."
Oh, Monochrome made it now too.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know how. How's this making it?
Right.
Explain yourself, Simno. Who's paying you?
Can you show us the list? No?
Oh, yeah, you guys. My bad. So, number 10, Wagaki Band. Number 9, we have Baby Metal Monochrome, which we
What?
did cover.
We beat out
Nice.
Wagaki Band. The heck?
Cool.
Number 8, we have Attack on Titan. So, 2 different covers.
Dang.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. Number
Totally
7,
rigged.
Asterism dropped 3 spots. Number 6, Sokaninaro went up 3 spots with Slam Dunk Wands. Number 5, another Sokaninaro. Sokaninaro's been coming out with a lot of covers, and that's Arashi Truth. Number 4, we have Sokaninaro again. God damn.
This is the
Senban Zakura.
Yaki Band.
Yes, they covered it, but it's a Hatsune Miku Vocaloid song.
Right. It's a great song too.
Interesting.
Number 3, we have Asterism, Staying There with Pelic. And number 2, we have Otto. By the way, Otto released new music too this past week. Forgot to mention that. So goodbye to the charts again. We got another Attack on Titan and Otto coming in. We're doomed.
Oh yeah, listen to that.
Mei-chan with Burkino Dance Cover. Still at number 1. So yeah, that's the top 10. And we have...
Have any of you listened to that yet?
No.
Yeah, my reaction.
Did you like it?
I don't remember.
Listen
I
to
did
what?
it during a live stream, but it is posted on my channel. But I mean,
Nice.
I usually like what I hear.
I'm
We'll
gonna-
just go through your channel and find out. But
We'll assume
know
that
how
you
I am.
liked it.
Like
Sorry,
I
what?
like everything until I think about it more.
You like everything
Like,
until you think about it more? All right. All right,
Listen to
so
Alan, who hates everything until he thinks about it more.
That's the opposite. We're like complete opposites, Wave.
I know. Maybe that's why we work.
You guys ought to meet somewhere in the middle and just enjoy music, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think Wave's already enjoying it. He likes everything.
Until he thinks about it.
So we want to announce the Baby Metal winner for our brackets that we've been holding, and we had people that turned in their. You explain it, champ. I can't talk apparently.
We did the Baby Metal Battle of the Songs recently.
There we go.
And we had people do predictions before the Battle of the Songs began to see who would get the most correct. And apparently we've got a winner.
Who's that winner? Did I already forget the name?
Yes, you did.
Otto's 43. So how close was he? Do we have like how close he was to winning or anything like that?
I don't know. We're going to have to go over to talk to Pew Baca and see what kind of information he's got open.
Did I miss
Okay.
something?
Yes.
About what?
I don't
missed-
remember that we had a thing, a competition going.
Adam,
I just thought it was for best Baby Metal song.
He was gone for 2 weeks, so he probably doesn't remember. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You
Yeah.
literally did miss something.
Pibaka said, "Give me 2 seconds." So Pibaka's gonna hit us up. But congratulations to you. Choose out some merch. Let me know which merch you want, and I'll help it get shipped to you. So just let me know. You already messaged me, so just message me again what shirt you want, and we'll get sent out to you. And go from there.
cool. Yeah. Great. Congratulations. Sir.
And congratulations. When are we doing the next one, though? That's what I want to know. What are we doing next?
I don't know. We gotta talk about it. Maybe we should put up a poll on our channel and see what people want to see.
We could do a poll right now.
YouTube poll.
Oh, we could
Yeah,
do
let's-
we could do a YouTube poll right now in the chat. Let the chat decide.
I
And-
did that last time.
all right, that's it, guys. That's the end of today's podcast. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
It was fun, and I'll let you sign us off, champ, with the usual stuff.
Go over to our Patreon if you want more stuff from the guys and guys. Patreon.com/guys and guys, where we give group reactions almost every week. We did this week. What did we watch before this? We checked out some Wagaki bands.
Starlight.
Starlight.
Starlight by Wagaki Band, right? And the
Live at
last time we
Budokan.
did last time we did some Maximum the Hormone. So we're trying to spread our wings a little bit here and get some more bands that we haven't put up there. I think the next, I believe I could sort. So the next one I think I'm going to put up is probably going to be a band that I'm going to try to find 4 bands that none of us really listen to, and I want to check out some new stuff. So go over there if you want to be a part of this. And you could also become channel member over here on YouTube. You just look at that join button right there next to the subscribe button under the video right now. And if you want to get more stuff from us that way, you can do it that way too. If you don't want to move all the way over to Patreon.
Otto's 43 says he predicted 76% of the songs correctly, and he got 69 points.
Nice.
I almost want to send him something extra for that.
Yeah, I think we should. Should definitely sell something extra. There we go.
He won the bonus prize with
The
that
bonus
score.
prize. All right, we'll let you guys
If you-
know. Midwest says he wants to hear a lot of swearing and stuff. We already did with the last one. There was a lot of swearing. I think we got that part covered.
You could draw him a map of a goose vagina.
Oh my god.
But you'll never
There you go.
find the end of it.
It could be a maze. We could just make mazes.
Goose, can we do that in Goose Vagina Maze? Guys and Guys special.
New shirt. Let's go.
Good
Come on,
GSV.
Ryan.
Oh my God.
Come on, Ryan Goose Vagina shirts. Let's go.
Let's go down that path again. Wait.
Ryan's like, I'm gonna need a drink for this one.
Not
Last
really
time,
gonna be
last time I
concerned.
tried to make shirts based on that, it got me into a lot of trouble. So we're not doing that again.
Your wife walks in your office and you have a goose vagina up on the Google,
Oh
I don't
man.
think anybody will know what that is.
and it's in a maid costume.
All right, guys.
Oh my
See you
God.
later. Everyone that's watching on YouTube, if you want to make comments, or everybody listening on Spotify and all those other platforms, you can make comments over here on YouTube if you're listening from there. If you're watching on YouTube and you don't see this podcast up immediately afterwards, it's because I got to upload the better quality version where it's not freezing. I know it kind of tamed itself after the wind slowed down. Now it's bright and sunny outside, so the wind was just really messing up things. So I'll see you guys all in the next one. You guys have a good one. See you.
Adios.
Do you think this stream's already demonetized?
Probably.